We did a video recently on all the characters' innate stats, so each of their attributes without any gear equipped, but now it's time to dive deeper into the gear here. Everybody can see this if you've gotten this first kick demo, basically, so we're diving into that, but I do want to give you guys a little bit of extra because the Japanese website for Mario Strikers Battle League actually has a lot more information than our English-speaking counterparts, definitely more than the North American side at least, and so I'll dive into that. I'll tell you what I mean by that. We're still looking at some of the characters' innate stats without gear right here, but we'll just go ahead and maybe we'll test this on a character I haven't really seen a whole lot of. Here, let's just see what Toad looks like with the gear. So this will be the same for every character. You know, when we go right here, we're going to see Muscle Helmet, right? That's what we've got equipped right now. It's not technically like bought and equipped, I just mean we're showing it. So that's Strength +2 and Technique -2. No matter which character it is with that Muscle Helmet, we'll get that. Same with this Turbo Helmet. That's going to be Speed +2, Technique -2. You can see to the right, of course, that's also being reflected on those stat bars right there. All the Turbo gear, like really all the gear sets kind of have a look to them, right? And so we'll see that too. Trick Helmet. Trick is the naming nomenclature for Technique +2. So then it's going to be Passing -2 for the helmet right now. Toad looking nice and happy. So let's go to the Chain Helmet right here. Forgive me, I'm still a little bit hoarse from my sickness. It's getting better. Passing +2, Speed -2. And once again, they all sort of have a cohesive look to them, you know. So if you were to buy and equip the entire set, let's say the Cannon set, you know, it would all look like it goes together. Cannon Visor is going to be Shooting +2 and then Technique -2. So after we get a good look at this, kind of turn them around and stuff, we're going to go over to the arms now. And so then we're back to innate stats. Then if we go to Muscle Gauntlets, you're going to see Strength +2, Passing -2. Once again, once we go through each one of these, I'm going to actually bring this to a good point. Like there's some really good analysis we can do actually. So after Muscle Gauntlets, we'll go to Turbo Gloves. That's going to be Speed +2, Strength -2 right here. I don't think Toad needs to minus too much strength unless you're really going a specific build. We'll probably talk about that later. Trick Gloves. Technique +2, Speed -2. You can't see too much of the gloves with Toad. His arms are so tiny, you know, so it's like we will go to some other characters just to get another look at each one of the gear. A little bit quicker next time. Chain Gauntlets. The chain set is for passing, so that'll be +2. Shooting is -2. And then after that, the last one that we look at here will be Cannon Gloves. Shooting is +2, Speed -2. Liking what we're seeing so far. Of course, the Cannon Gloves really have that like silver gauntlet look to them, especially on Toad right now. Let's go to the body now. For your torso armor and stuff, you got the Muscle Chest. Muscle, of course, being the set that implies strength, so +2 to that. Shooting -2 right here. And it's not the same for each muscle set. Like you might add +2 strength on all of them, but you'll -2 on something different for each one. Like so the helmet and the gauntlets, or the gloves, would be different, right, of what you're minusing to. Turbo Pad was Speed +2, Passing -2. And Turbo Pad, the chest armor, it has these like wings, you know, that'll be a very easy way to tell that someone's wearing the Turbo. Trick Pad will be Technique +2, Strength -2. Oh man, we're looking at a weak Toad here. The Chain Plate coming up next will be Passing +2, Technique -2. Toad is like somewhat stacked innately, but definitely your strength on the lower side. So Cannon Plate will add +2 to shooting. Strength will be -2. And then we're going to get a look at the legs. That'll finish us off here for Muscle Boots. Strength +2, Speed -2. Those look pretty nice on Toad right here. It's like the Mega Man shoes we're going to see a little bit later. Turbo Boots. Speed +2, Shooting -2. So that is a fast Toad. Trick Boots. We got Technique +2, Shooting -2. And then we'll transition to Chain Boots. Passing +2, Strength -2 right here. Again, if you have like Rosalina or something, any character, Chain Boots, this is what it's going to do to your stats. So it's okay that we're looking at Toad. Cannon Boots. Some characters like Rosalina, if they have the big legs, this kind of looks like Samus. Cannon Boots will be Shooting +2, Passing -2. And so again, we'll look at these on a different character, but now we've gone over each of the gear here just for what is the +2 and then what's the -2. Just for a refresher on that while we pick another character to show you, the Muscle set will be your strength. The Turbo set will be your speed. The Trick set is going to be your technique. The Chain set, that's going to be for passing. And then the Cannon set is going to be for shooting. So that's probably clear, but just because we have a little bit of time, I'm just saying each one of those names and what attribute it adds to, it's going to add to regardless of if it's the head, the arms, the body, or the legs gear. And so there we go. This is looking nice. So Rosalina, obviously you can tell where her sort of weaker points are, but really also just a stacked character. I mean, you guys that were telling me you're going to pick Rosalina in that character stats vid that I did, I was always praising your decision. You know, Rosalina is going to be great, and especially with some gear, if you want to try to like make her more of an all-rounder type, we're going to get into that, okay? I know I keep teasing this, I'm sorry. There was another look at the Turbo just a second ago. Again, it has those sort of like jet wings on the back of it. I feel like you're always going to know the Turbo. It's got the lights, it's got that jet wing look, and probably the muscle like a lot of people will know, okay, they got muscle on. Some of the other ones, they have like a little bit of, I mean, they all have their distinct look, so hopefully we'll all just kind of learn this like the back of our palms, right, when we see the other team. So there it was again, muscle, especially on Rosalina, looks like Mega Man from the legs down. These turbo boots look pretty cool on her. The trick boots, kind of what we'd expect a little bit, and so we'll go over to Chain. We're actually almost getting into Samus right there, just a little bit. Like, it looks like it has these kind of hydraulic, like, wires and stuff, hoses, but there, see, that looks like Samus's, like, legs, just a little bit. And it's interesting because it's the cannon boots, right? Like, so the cannon set, and Samus has the cannon for her arm. Here I figured, you know, like, we looked at Toad, we looked at a human character, why not, like, something else? Like DK, this looks pretty interesting, especially that turbo helmet looks really cool. Goes over the eyes and stuff even. Turbo pad also. So what's cool is that the Japanese website has a video on the gear section that the other websites don't have. I'm gonna show you this and we'll slow it down and all that. So they end up actually showing off, I think it's at least 3 full sets of gear for Mario. In the first little video part, the Mario there is gonna get all of the muscle gear equipped. So we see Mario go 1,000,000% muscle like Knuckles in the Sonic 2 movie, because with that full muscle set, they actually compare Mario's stats, the attributes without any gear, so they have that set up for us, compared with his new muscle set stats that added +2 strength for all 4 gear equips, but then subtracted 2 on the various other attributes, right? So let's see it. Mario with no gear has 11 strength, but make this +2 to his strength 4 times, right? Since there's 4 pieces of gear that you can add, head, legs, arms, body, 2 times 4 is 8, and we obviously see it says 19 there on the right for Mario's strength attribute with all that gear on. I just wanted to explain the math behind it. Notice that he lost 2 on speed because of the muscle boots. He also lost 2 on shooting because of the muscle chest, the body gear. And Mario lost 2 from passing because of the muscle gauntlets. And then the other -2 is on technique, which came from the muscle helmet. Again, my discussion here is just to kind of explain the math, basically, and spell it all out for you. The gear obviously made Mario a brick beast house in strength, but he dropped down in speed and passing pretty low. So here, I think this is really fascinating and important for you to know. I imagine that we can consider a threshold of any stat attribute being 10 or below. That means it's pretty miserable. Like, you can see these orange to yellow colored bars. They show all the stats and the attributes, but they're also divided here by 5 sub bars, if you want to call them that. 5 sub bars make the entire bar. So the maximum that an attribute can be is 25. That means this bar would be fully maxed out. The middle would be in the 11 to 15 range or so right here, whereas anything, again, 10 and below are these last 2 sub bars, and that, in my logic at least, makes whatever that attribute is considered kind of low. So let's just say low, middle or average, and high, good. So Mario on our Japan video then decks out in the full cannon set for all gear parts, which is for shooting, but we see each one of his other stats decrease here. Mario already has pretty good shooting with his all-around stats, being that shooting is 14 for him innately, so this took him to 22. I'm gonna assume that's the max you can get with Mario specifically, just Mario. We're gonna talk about one more thing, you guys, coming up. The last full set of gear shown on the Japanese site's video here that we're using is the full trick set. So it looks like -2 on all stats except for technique, which gets +2 all around, so adding 8 points to Mario's technique, which is also a strong point of his without any gear, so it's now 24. So here we go, more meat and potatoes, right? This will also tell you if a character's base innate attribute with no gear is 17 points or higher, then it can actually max out to 25. That's the highest any stat attributes can go. That's just if you go with the full gear set to match that specific attribute. You know, you look at the characters that would apply to, like Wario on strength. Here, maybe we can cut to this, because Wario's strength is 17. Also, Yoshi on both passing and shooting. Those are both 17 as well. Toad on his speed. Rosalina on shooting. Peach's speed. Bowser's strength and shooting. And then Luigi on technique. So if we're not completely crystal clear here, that means that every character so far except for Mario, Donkey Kong, and Waluigi can hit that 25 maximum on at least one of their stats. So we'll just repeat. Other than Waluigi, Donkey Kong, and Mario, every character introduced so far at the time of this recording can reach the full 25 maximum on at least one of their stats if you equip the full gear set for that stat. So if you want to learn more and deep dive into the character's innate stats without any gear, definitely click the end screen that will be on screen so you can go see the short video that I did that reveals and explains each of those. And I thank you so much for viewing.